Hey guys, it's Gameface here and welcome back to episode 18 of my Burnley career mode. Now in today's episode we're going to be getting up the summer transfer window, hopefully trying to bring in some players and maybe get rid of a few as well. Got about £40 million to spend here with Burnley, so I'm hoping to try and bring in some really good players actually, particularly in right back position. There's been a lot of suggestions in the last episode, so thank you all so much to them. I have put them on the shortlist. There's also a few attacking suggestions as well, but I think mainly the main focus is probably going to be right back, to be honest. I think that's the biggest place where we have to try and improve, and hopefully we're going to bring in a couple of good players alongside a right back as well. Before we go any further into today's episode, if we could try and hit 50 likes, then I'd really appreciate it. Also, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already as well, and that'd be absolutely fantastic too. And let's crack on with today's episode. Let's take a look at the shortlist, basically being made up of the suggestions that you've all made from the last episode, and obviously going to be looking at a few of them in today's episode as well. So there's Jota here, obviously at Atletico Madrid. He could play as a left winger or a striker. Some people suggesting that maybe he plays as the left-hand side of a centre-attacking mid, which we have tried out in a new formation, which we might be going ahead with going into this new season. Munier, obviously one of the right-backs I'm looking at. Alvarez was also mentioned, a player I'm actually familiar with, so we are actually scouting him at the moment. £7 million release clause on him if we choose to buy him. Bustos as well, another right-back, not too sure exactly what he's like in game, so again trying to find out here. Lozano, obviously a fantastic player, one that he's apparently too important for their team to sell, so it doesn't seem like we could actually sign him, but we'll have to wait and see if we do decide to go for him. Vasalco's also another right back as well that's been mentioned. He's alright in game, to be honest. He's not fantastic. Obviously pace wise he's fairly good, but I just probably prefer someone a little bit faster. I think I want someone that's really, really fast to play that right wing back position. Someone a little bit more like Aurier and Pereira, who have also been mentioned in the comments. Only thing with Pereira is he has recently moved to Liverpool, so I can't sign him in this window, which kind of rules him out, even though he's my first choice, which is a little bit frustrating. Aurier has also apparently recently moved to Tottenham as well. A year ago now. Maybe I'm going to be left with Vasalco, and to be fair, his pace isn't actually as bad as I thought it was. I thought it was less than 80 on both of them, but it's actually a little bit quicker than I expected. It is tempting to make a move for him. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait a little bit longer. I'll get the scout reports back on players like Bustos and also Alvarez as well, and then we'll make a decision after that. Maybe we have to wait until like August to be able to sign Aurier, possibly. I'm pretty sure Pereira was signed last summer as well, so I'm not really too sure what the issue would be there. Maybe we just have to wait until August. Okay, so for now we're going to do some player drills. We're going to do Lewis Cook on 2 of the drills, and then the other 3 drills are going to be filled by the 3 centre-backs that we promoted, I think, last episode into the senior setup. So we're going to give them all 1 drill each. We might actually increase that to maybe 2 drills for some of them at some point if we want to, but for now we'll go with this. Green goes up on the first week, which is fantastic. He goes up to 58 overall and is already looking a little bit better. So hopefully those guys are going to grow a little bit in this season, and maybe they've got a chance of playing in the first team a little bit as well. Okay, some transfer offers in here, this time for Bayode. A player that we've tried to get rid of on so many occasions and it just hasn't happened. It keeps breaking down every single time. So we are going to go ahead, try and accept him once again. If it doesn't work, we're just going to get rid of him and get him off the wage budget. So we'll accept that, even though it's slightly below what he's worth. And then a bid for Cal Bartley from West Brom. I think in real life, actually, he's off to West Brom at the moment. So it's a bit of a strange one that that's suddenly come in. £5.5 million for him. I actually want to try and keep him if possible. So I'm going to negotiate this offer. I'm not going to accept £5.5 million. I'm going to see if I can get maybe £7.5, £8 million instead. And then I will allow him to leave if that is able to be paid by West Brom. So we'll wait and see in a second, because we do have obviously those younger centre-backs coming through. They're not quite ready just yet, but they are coming through. And I've also got Long as well. But I am tempted to bring in maybe another couple of better centre-backs that are better than Cal Bartley. So we'll go ahead and see what they say to, I think, £8 million initially. Hopefully we're not too far away from the fee they're willing to pay, but it's a little bit more expensive obviously than what they were saying, and that's their final offer. Is what they're saying now, 5.5. I've got to accept 7.5, surely. Okay, so they got up to 6 already, so it clearly wasn't the final offer. I'll accept £7 million for him. Go on, say 7. There we go. So I got an extra £1.5 million on what was originally their final offer. There's some other right backs as well for us to consider here. We've got Yedlin that have already shortlisted previously. We've got Joe Gomez, another player that we've shortlisted before. Yedlin does certainly interest me, very fast player obviously, and will be able to get up and down the pitch really well for us. So he is tempting certainly. There's also De Sciglio and Montoya as well. De Sciglio I don't think quite as fast. No, not really, but can play left back as well, which could be handy. Montoya can also do the same, but it's a little bit faster. So There's certainly a few other different players for us to consider as well. A bid has actually been accepted, and that is ongoing there between, I think, himself and Frankfurt. So maybe that deal will happen, maybe it won't, but will be a little bit of a cheaper option for us. For now, we're just going to continue to sim on a few days and wait until we get all the scout reports back. I'm also looking at a couple of other players in a few different positions as well, like in Dide at Leicester City as another centre mid for us. So we're going to continue to monitor him, and maybe we'll bring him in at some point during this window. My earliest transfer talks break down once again. Really frustrating that keeps on happening. We are going to release him in a second. Transfer for in for Phil Bardsley. I'm pretty sure he's a player that's been transfer listed. Bidding from Middlesbrough at £1 million. Not the biggest deal ever, but quite clearly needs to probably leave, to be honest. He did okay, to be fair, in the right wing-back position at times last season, but he's getting on a little bit. And I think we will accept the £1 million. Okay, so Bayard is going to be released. That's going to cost us 85 grand, but I'm happy to do that just so we can get him off the wage bill. This week we see Thomas go up in overall to 64 overall. That's great news once again. He seems like the better out of the three players, not just in overall, but in terms of potential, I think, as well. So going to keep an eye out on him, and he might be the one that makes it into the first team out of the three of them. And so I guess we'll have to wait and see, but they're all looking really, really good for 16, 17-year-olds. So yeah, pretty confident that they'll get into the team at some point. Cal Bartley's just been sold as well, so that gives them an opportunity maybe to get into the first team a little bit quicker. So we should get a few £1 million for that, maybe 5 or 6. Transfer talks break down though, first off, for Phil Bardsley, unfortunately. But Cal Bartley is sold, at £5 million added on to the budget there. Now bidding for Robbie Brady, another player that I hadn't intended in selling, but I don't know whether he's the sort of guy that we really need at the moment. I mean, we might, in a way, actually, for playing left wing-back, then he'd probably fit in quite nicely. At the moment, it's Charlie Taylor playing that position, where Brady isn't actually in the first team. I think if I could get a decent amount of money for him, similar with the Cal Bartley situation, I probably would sell him, and would have to also replace him pretty quickly. Okay, so we're first of all going to ask for £17 million from West Ham. I imagine they should be fairly willing to increase the amount that they're offering. Whether they want to go to 17 just yet, I'm not so sure. Okay, we've matched it straight away. So we've got a decent amount of money there for Roy Brady. Hopefully going to get maybe £14-15 million added onto the budget from that. Then we can bring in a good player in that position. We've also got to bear in mind we have brought in Hoylett as well on a free, who's not too dissimilar to Roy Brady. Obviously can't play as a left back, but can go and play a little bit further forward. So it's tempting to look at Hoylett as the direct replacement straight away, but we will also look at other options. Jota was a player that we do have listed. It's whether we can afford him that I'm kind of waiting to see. Another transfer for in this time for Jonathan Walters from Aston Villa. It's certainly under what his value is, but he is 34. And I'm just going to accept him, get him out the door, and hopefully try and get him onto a new club. Okay, so Rory Brady gets sold. We get £13.5 million from that deal. It's not too bad there. Jonathan Walters also gets sold. We get 675 grand. And interest shown in Joe Gomez, £10.2 million from Southampton. I guess we'll have to wait and see whether that one happens or not. We do have some scout reports finally coming back. We've waited ages, it feels like, for them. Ryan Fredericks was the guy that suggested. He has, I think, moved clubs maybe. I'm pretty sure it was a different club at the start of the career mode. But he's a very fast player. Just technically not fantastic. 73 overall. Probably wouldn't be suited to a starting place in the team. Certainly wouldn't be suited to a starting place with having Vidal, obviously, who's already better. Aurier, though, is a player I'm tempted by, but again, would be very expensive for us. We obviously know he's got a good amount of quality and would fit perfectly into the team, but a big price tag as well. About £60 million now, having sold a few players, which is pretty good. We need to start to try and bring in players, though, if we can. I'm not too worried, because you can get deals done pretty quickly here, but I am mainly focusing on just trying to get scout reports coming back in the next few days. This week, Ward and Green both go up in overall. That's fantastic news. Again, they're continuing their growth, which is really good, and hopefully they get a little bit closer to 70 overall soon. Finally, scout reports coming in. Edison Alvarez, let's see what sort of player he is. 73 overall, 20 years old, centre-back, and looks alright actually for his age. I'm tempted to go for him as a replacement, obviously, for Carl Bartley, who was a similar overall. He's 74, I think. Just obviously much older. This guy will be much cheaper as well. And I think his buyout clause was £7 million, which is tempting, but probably could get it for a little bit cheaper if I wanted to. Also got Bustos as well, the guy that was suggested in the comments, and he's actually a pretty good player, isn't he? Wow, okay. 78 overall, 22 years old, and £11 million, wage of 17 grand. That might be something we look at, actually, with his wage being so small. And Lozano, obviously a fantastic player, we all know that. We've seen him at the World Cup as well in real life. Pace-wise, not doing too bad. Acceleration, 99. And I think quality-wise is also very good as well. 81 overall, Big price tag on him though once again. And finally, obviously Jota at Atletico Madrid. 80 overall, another very good player, very pacey once again. Another big price tag though. We might have to offer a player in there to try and be able to get these guys. But some of them might be like around the £30 million mark. Okay, so I'm going to finally try and sign somebody. We're going to go for Bustos, I think. There's other players. There's Vasalko, who was an option, but I think it probably cost about £24 million. I just do want to spend that sort of money on him. So I'm going to go for a little bit of a cheaper option, as I have done quite a lot really on this career mode, but I am still going to try and bring him in. I think he could be, once trained up, a really, really good right back. And we are going to offer, I think, maybe like £13 million to begin with. That shouldn't be too far away from what they want, really. It's a good offer as that. And they have accepted it straight away. That's good. Okay, so we're going to offer 30 grand for him to try and get him in. Let's see what he says to that. He should really accept it. Yeah, it's a fair offer. And as easy as that, we have brought him in. I wanted to make sure we definitely secured him and got him in pretty quickly. And so we have brought him in there. Bustos signs for us and can play right back and left back, which is really good. Also a very fast player as well. So looking forward to having him in the team. And hopefully fills that position that was after. So yeah, you can see his stats here. Very, very fast. Obviously, great stamina, which is good. And we hope we can get his skill attributes up a little bit more, particularly his defensive ones. Maybe his slide tackle needs to go up a little bit more. But other than that, I think he's almost there, really, at 22 years old. Okay, next player I'm going to go for is Ndidi. Now, he's a player I did look at, I think, in the last window, on the summer window, whichever. And he's a player I'm going to try and get this time round. Now we have a bit more money to spend. So we're going to initially go for a player swap, and we're going to offer, I think, is there a midfielder I want to offer? Obviously not Jack Wilshere, he's just come in. Anybody else I'm interested in getting rid of? Don't think there really is, to be honest. I mean, Hendrick would be an option, because I don't really like him that much, but I don't really think there's anybody that stands out. Maybe Aaron Lennon might be an option as a winger to give them. We are going to go Jeff Hendrick, though, initially, see what they say to that. And as usual, not happy with it, so you want a right winger, which might fit Aaron Lennon going that way. So yeah, a lot for Aaron Lennon, £6.5 million. I want to try and get rid of him anyway. They want £28 million on top of that, which is ridiculous. We can't really value Aaron Lennon at much then if they're wanting 28. We'll offer them £18 million, and Aaron Lennon, they want 27.5. That's not much of a decrease. Let's go £20 million. This might take a little while at this rate. They've gone down to 23.7, which is much better. We're getting somewhere by the looks of it. £21 million. Can they accept that, please? That's more like it. £21 million and Aaron Lennon. A little bit more than I wanted to pay, but still I think an okay offer there. And we'll move on to his contract, hopefully try and bring him in. Okay, so we'll offer him 60 grand and we'll give him the sign-on bonus that he's wanting as well. Let's submit that offer, see if we can get him on a 5-year deal. He wants 67. And we'll go ahead and accept that. And Ndidi will join us. It's obviously a big price tag for him, but we had to spend some money somewhere to bring in some quality players. 81 overall, looks fantastic. Him and Jack Wilshere, I think, in midfield is going to be a great balance with our Marty potentially in there as well. So looking forward to that midfield this season. Really, really good signing. Really happy that I've got him. Okay, next player we're going to move for is Jota. Hopefully get him as part of our centre-attacking mid. So if you go to a 4-3-3 or something, we're going to go for him and try and bring him in. He can also play as a striker as well. Again, we're going to look at a player swap deal. That might be the best option for us here because we are on a bit of a tighter budget now at £25 million. I think initially we're just going to offer maybe Lewis Cook or Hendrick, which is worth the most. Lewis Cook. Now we've obviously brought in Ndidi. We are really sort of pretty complete in that midfield position. We've got Cork, who I prefer over Lewis Cook, which is a bit of a shame to say that, but in game I do prefer him. Marty obviously as well, Jack Wilshere and Ndidi. So we don't really need Lewis Cook at the moment. There's also Hendrick as well, which I might move on. For now we'll go Lewis Cook, see what they say to him. And they want his position by the looks of it. They want centre-back instead. Okay, so I don't think we're going to go anywhere with that because I can't really chuck in a player and then still try and sign this guy because we need to sign a new centre-back if we were to chuck in one of our first team centre-backs. So we're just going to have to offer money by the looks of it. It's whether we've got enough. I'm not really convinced we do. £20 million was my initial offer. They want 30.5. That wouldn't give us enough money on the wage. So that doesn't help us. 22.5. What are they going to say to that? No. Same price. How's that £24 million? It's got to be more like it, surely. So they're going to go away and think about it, which is never a good sign. So they just left the room. If we really wanted to sort of keep this realistic, we'd probably make a move for Jay Rodriguez, who's been heavily linked in real life to Burnley. But I think there's probably other options I'd rather go for, to be honest. Okay, so I've just tried to make a move for Harry Winks here by just chucking in Lewis Cook, and they've come back and said they want over £5 million for him as well. I'm just curious to see what Tottenham would say. Would they do a straight swap, which I think would be quite a good deal for them, to be honest. They're getting someone that's the same overall and younger, and it's obviously worth the same as well, but I think they've come back and asked for this amount, which is a little bit strange. I'm not keen to pay anything actually in this deal. I just want it to be a straight swap, and I'll offer them £1, I suppose, then. What are they going to say to that? 4.8. Okay, so they've stalled on me. Basically, I offered £1 million and Lewis Cook to get in Harry Winks, just as a better option potentially in game. As much as I know Lewis Cook, to me, I think in real life is going to be a better player, I still think that in game he's not very good and we need to try and look at another option potentially. Harry Winks would be an option, but at the same time, I'm not desperate to bring him in. We have enough centre mids, and so he would be sort of a backup option for us. Okay, next move we're going to try and make is for Alvarez, obviously the centre back that we looked at before. Hopefully going to try and bring him in as a little bit of a cheaper option for us. I still think we need one more centre back, particularly if Long ends up going as well. With us playing through the back often, we need plenty of cover there. So we are going to offer them a transfer fee. I decided not to go with a £7 million release clause. I think I can get him cheaper. I'm just going to go £5 million, and that should really be enough, or thereabouts. 6.6. How's about 5.6? That should be it. Come on. Ugh. We'll say £6 million, they should accept it, but again, they haven't. Oh my days, why are they still sticking to that? 6.2, anyone? Come on. Yes, there we go, finally. Okay, so I'm going to offer him 35 grand on his wage. He wants to be a rotation player, which is fine by me. Don't mind that. 35 grand, will he accept? Yes, there we go. He signs on a 4-year contract and he joins us. Another new signing for us to make in today's episode. And yeah, looking forward to using him in the team as a centre-back, holding midfielder. We'll wait and see where I think he plays best. Still waiting to hear back on the Harry Winks and obviously Jota deal as well. Both those have been stalled. Hopefully we'll hear back in the next few days or so. Not looking likely though. Yeah, they've come back and asked for 26.6, which I don't think we quite have after that deal. The amount that they've come back with is obviously out of our budget, so we've got an option of waiting a week and hoping we can get rid of someone, which looks unlikely right now, or we can continue to try and counter, but I don't think we're still going to have enough money to bring him in. Yeah, so I think we're just going to reject that one really. I don't think we can go ahead with that. I could have just waited a week potentially, but I think I'm going to move to other targets instead. Still going to basically go for our final guy now, which is going to be centre-back in mid, who's going to come in, hopefully compete with Wellington in that position as well. I suspect Wellington's more likely to be a rotational player than a starter. We still need a starter for that position in my eyes, so got £20 million to try and get someone. Okay, they've come back to me about the Harry Winks deal, and they said it's unacceptable once again. They want £4.8 million. Again, we are just going to, I think, reject that one. It wasn't a deal I was massively fussed about. I was just trying to find another way of using Lewis Cook in order to get somebody that's maybe a little bit better in game, but we won't go ahead with it, we'll reject it instead. Okay, so I'm going ahead with this sort of offer at the moment, which is a bit of a strange one. Gudmundsson has £17 million to try and bring in Shaqiri to play as more like a centre-attacking mid or an attacking player, really, as part of that front three. We're going to go ahead with it, see what they say. I think it's unlikely they'll go ahead with 17. They want 26.9, a long way off. 19, any interest? No. £20 million is probably as far as I can go now. And it's a better offer, they've agreed on it. Okay. Still not 100% sure I can afford him, especially if he's going to want a big signing or bonus and that sort of thing. And there's probably very little chance. Okay, so we're currently 36 grand away from getting Shaqiri. It's going to be tight. I don't think we're going to quite manage it, to be honest. We'll move the bonus initially. That saves a little bit of money, but he's going to want more on the wage now. Best I can offer him, 98 grand, which is far more than what he's currently on, and a £1 million signing or bonus. That's a really good offer. He should accept it. I don't think he will. It's going to take some time here, I think. He wants 105, so 13 grand away, so it's a big reduction already, which is good, but still struggling a little bit. We'll go 91 grand, signing a bonus of 1.3, submit that offer, 105 grand, still 13 grand away. It's not changed this time, that's annoying. £1.1 million, 96 grand, submit, £12,780 off. Come on, just accept something. Come on, my client needs some time to consider the offer. At least it gives us some time to hopefully try and find the money from somewhere. It's a shame about that one because they're so close to a big signing there with Shaqiri. And for a relatively good offer as well. £20 million, obviously plus a player. But it would still be a good amount of money. And I'm still offering a wage that's more than what he's currently on and a really good signing on bonus. So it's frustrating, but we'll see. Okay, so I've just added loads of new players to the transfer list. I thought we'd already gone and done this, but clearly we hadn't. Lingard's on there now. Another goalkeeper as well. Hendrick, Wells, and Benza. Random striker never heard of. O'Neill, another youngster. Phil Bardsley also on there now as well. So a lot more players added on to there. Hendrick's a player we're willing to get rid of, and so we're hoping that we can get some bids in time so we can hopefully bring in Shaqiri. That's what I want to try and do. Ideally we don't lose Gudmundsson as well, but it seems like in that Shaqiri deal it's kind of inevitable if that was to happen. And they're saying unacceptable. They still want a higher signing bonus and wage bonus. Transfer free in here for Ben Mee from Besiktas. No interest in getting rid of him, especially not for that sort of amount. So we're going to reject the offer. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we're getting the offers in that I was hoping for. We're going to try and stall on the Shaqiri one. We should have a week to respond to it, so gives us a bit of time. Then if we renegotiate, maybe we can find some more time within that to be able to sell a player or two. So we'll see what offers come in now at this point. And a bid in for Goodmanson. Could we sell him separately and raise some more money like that? Tempting. Tom Heaton also wants to leave, by the way, as well, which I've forgotten about. And he isn't transfer listed. We're going to ask for £16 million here for Tom Heaton. As much as I don't want to get rid of him, he has asked to leave. He's also 32 now as well. And Arsenal have gone ahead and said they'll accept 16. Okay, that was a little bit too easy. Maybe I could have asked for more, but that's what the range was. And £16 million for a 32-year-old goalkeeper is very good as well, by the way. So hopefully nothing breaks down there. Bidding for Goodmanson, could get £20 million for it. That would certainly help get Shaqiri. Obviously that Shaqiri deal would probably end and maybe have to wait a week to negotiate again, but if we could get 20 then I'd be happy with that. Ideally he just stays at the club, but it's looking difficult. Maybe he could stay at the club and we renegotiate the Shaqiri deal without him in. It's tempting. We won't accept anything just yet. Because yeah, ideally I want to have him at the club as well as Shaqiri. I want to try and have both players if possible. Bidding for Johnny Evans from Newcastle. No interest in getting rid of him. Don't really have the budget to go out there and try and bring another centre-back. I just think it's not something that's going to be able to happen, so we'll reject it. Modric moves to Man City. Wow, what a signing that is. Ward and Green both go up in overall this week, which is good to see. They're continuing their rise and hopefully they're going to get even closer to the first team. We could certainly need them at this rate. We could do with another centre-back or two that's good enough to get into the first team. Okay, so negotiations over there for Shaqiri. Didn't get back to them. That was kind of the idea, really. Waiting on the Tom Heaton deal, which again doesn't seem to be happening too quickly, so we'll wait and see. Interest in Yedlin shown, that's fine. We're not going to sign at the moment. Okay, Tom Heaton is sold to Arsenal, £12.5 million added onto the budget now. This means we could have to really wait to be able to sign Shaqiri, and a separate sort of new deal that excludes Goodmanson is what I'm going to aim for next episode. I think it'll have to be now. But it gives us a much healthier budget. £31 million should be enough. Maybe we chuck in a separate player or someone else that's not Goodmanson, ideally. I think we'll try and sort that out next episode. That will be everything for today's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If we could try and hit 50 likes, then I'd really appreciate it. Also, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already as well. And of course, as you did in the last episode so brilliantly, please go ahead, leave loads of comments in the comment section below about the players I should try and sign. Bear in mind the budget we have. Bear in mind I'm not looking to bring in that many more new players, to be honest. Just probably one more attacking player. Maybe I have to look at a goalkeeper replacement as well at some point. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment. So let me know your thoughts about the Shaqiri deal as well in the comment section below. And that will be everything. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.